I'm saying the President of the United States should be discussing with the American people the great danger of our time, the debt. This process needs to be taken out of the shadows. We need public debate, and people would know the facts that are now being hidden from us and hidden from members of Congress. If we had a public debate, people would discover that according to the CBO, mandatory spending is going to increase nearly 90% over the next 10 years. So to get the country under control requires some real tough focus, but it does not mean we're going to have to cut spending dramatically, just reduce the growth of spending. Expenses on such programs, on welfare, are particularly interesting. Mandatory spending, that's the entitlement programs of all kinds, is set to automatically increase 90% over the next decade, and that's over half of our budget. We already spend $2.3 trillion on mandatory costs today in our budget. This year we'll spend $2.3 trillion. But we'll spend $4.12 trillion in the 10th year from now. Those are the projected growth patterns that we're on. This is a huge increase, and we don't have the money. People would also learn from public debate that welfare costs are now the single largest item in the budget, exceeding Medicare, larger than Medicare, larger than Social Security, larger than the defense budget. We spend enough on these poverty programs to send every household beneath the poverty line in America a check for $60,000 each family. That's how much we're spending. And the President's plan apparently would not deal with that at all. Indeed, the Budget Control Act of 15 months ago that was passed explicitly failed to address some of the biggest items in that budget. So I don't see how we can support a plan that doesn't at least begin to reform these programs and improve their operation. Well, is this going on in the secret talks? Are they talking about it? Or like the Budget Control Act talks, is this off limits, not to be discussed? Will welfare reform be a part of the framework of a settlement that will be dropped on the Senate? Well, we don't know.